G'day, it's Jono Break here from The Forge Leader with another round of Monday Myth Check. We're continuing our theme leading into the end of the year. It's December and we've got to start thinking about how we're going to be more productive, how we're going to get more things done next year. And so I want to look at this idea that planning next year means just setting more goals. Okay, now yes, goal setting is important and we will set goals and we will have things that we go after. But if you just view each year as like, okay, I'm just going to set more goals. Sometimes I like to challenge people that I work with, set some goals in the middle of the year, right? So you're not just thinking about it as an end of year activity, but it's not just about setting more goals, okay? And if that's your attitude, we're gonna have some problems here. So I want to look at some myths around that planning and setting up next year means just setting some goals. The first one is that more goals are just gonna dilute your focus. The challenge is, yeah, we got to get focused around goals, but if you just keep adding goals on goals, have you achieved the ones you wanted to achieve in the past? Have you celebrated the victory of those goals? If you're just adding goals on goals, it might be you're just trying to do something different or something new. Maybe you're diluting the focus you already had. The focus you had the year just ending now should be carried over and added to and focused in the year coming. So just watch that. That's one of the ones where, again, this is a myth check. We're not saying don't do it. Goals are very important. We're just checking it and saying if you just add goals on goals, you may end up with some challenges. The second one is goals without systems will cause a collapse. Okay, so I got a bunch of clients. I take my clients through significant transitions that might be scaling a business. They might be changing owners, changing leaders. They might be pivoting products, all sorts of things. The challenge that they always face, without a system just to measure goals and set objectives and key results, to then have an accountability process to stay attached to that journey, without those systems, dashboards, measurements, what are the things that you're doing to actually measure your success? If you're not doing that, then I'd look across your business and go, have you got your processes and frameworks in order? Have you got other systems? Are you well set up to be able to stay accountable, to get after things and keep being consistent? So that's something else to think about. If you haven't got those things, the goal setting is going to be a challenge. I'm going to give you an action at the end of this that can help you with that. And then the other one is, it relates to the first one, is that we might end up just chasing too much stuff. I often sit down with people, we're doing objectives and key results for a year, and they'll have 7 objectives and 4 or 5 key results for each objective. Okay, so the idea is when you're really strategic, focused on who am I, where am I going, and what's the process to get there, we can start to say no to some stuff. And so the challenge could be that you actually take on too many goals. When you chunk your year into quarterly, monthly, fortnightly executions, you'll start to see that play out. The trick is, if you've got someone that you're accountable to, working through that process should be pretty straightforward for you. I want you just to select 3 outcomes that if you did those 3 things, like broad things, in the coming year, you'd say that's a successful year, okay? They're your objectives, set some key results as to how you're going to measure those objectives, and then start to break it down. One of the actions you can take away today is I'd have a book called Unpacking Your Most Successful Year Yet. You can download it. There's a link here, or at least a QR code here in the video. You can join the community for free where we'll hold you accountable through quarterly execution. The book is a read and do book. If you haven't set your purpose, direction, or vision, it'll show you how to do that. But then it'll step you through objectives and key results just for 12 months. You can then extrapolate that out to multi-year as you get better at it. The idea is, let's just get accountable for something. Let's get towards something so that when we really stop and look at it, we're doing the things we should be doing. This whole series is really about prioritization and being accountable to a journey, accountable to the things that are important to you. That's productivity. So planning next year just means setting more goals. That's today's Monday Myth Check. I'm Jono Break. As always, enjoy the journey.